Okay, I'm back, y'all, in Divinely Grateful Risings. How are y'all doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic and amazing day. Welcome to Bible Clarity, y'all. Y'all know we are on a mission to read the Bible 2 chapters at a time. We are here to read the word, discuss the word, and build relationship with the Lord. Okay, so don't come over here with no religiosity in your spirituals, because we not on that. What we is on, because I'm on Nehemiah 3 and 4, Nehemiah 3 and 4. I've never read Nehemiah 3 and 4. I've read 1 and 2. We just did that. But now we're going to do Nehemiah 3 and 4. We're talking about rebuilding the wall of Jerusalem. Y'all, like the live, share the live, share the love. Drop something in the chat that you're grateful for. Let's get in the flow of abundance and or let's do it. Let's get to it. So we're talking about Nehemiah. He was the cupbearer, the king's cupbearer, King Artaxerxes in Persia. He was the cupbearer, but the Lord put it in his spirituals that he needed to message, that he needed to um, go and help rebuild the wall, right? Help rebuild the wall. So that is what is happening. So he is on his way. He's on his way to Jerusalem, and he's beginning the process of rebuilding the wall. So, or to do it. Here we go. Rebuilding the wall, Nehemiah 3. Then Eliashib, the high priest, and the other priests started to rebuild at the sheep gate. They dedicated it and set up its doors, building the wall as far as the Tower of the Hundred, which they dedicated, and the Tower of Hananel. People from the town of Jericho worked next to them, and beyond them was Zakur, son of Imri. The fish gate was built by the sons of Hassanah. They laid the beams, set up its doors, and installed its bolts and bars. Meremoth, son of Uriah and grandson of Hakaz, repaired the next section of the wall. Beside him were Meshullam, son of Berechiah and grandson of Meshezabel, and then Zadok, son of Bana. Next were the people from Tekoa, though their leaders refused to work with the construction supervisors. The old city gate was repaired by Joiada, son of Paseah, and Meshullam, son of Bezadiah. They laid the beam, set up its doors, and installed its bolts and bars. Next to them were Melatiah from Gibeon, Jadon from Maranoth, people from Gibeon, and people from Mizpah, the headquarters of the governor of the province west of the Euphrates River. Next was Uziel, son of Harhiah, a goldsmith by trade, who also worked on the wall. Beyond him was Hananiah, a manufacturer of perfumes. They left out a section of Jerusalem as they built the broad wall. Raphiah, son of Hur, the leader of half the district of Jerusalem, was next to them on the wall. Next, Jediah, son of Haramath, repaired the wall across from his own house, and next to him was Hattush, son of Hashabniah. Then came Malchijah, son of Haram, and Hashub, son of Pahath Moab, who repaired another section of the wall and the tower of the ovens. Shalom, son of Halahesh, and his daughters, OMG, repaired the next section. He was the leader of the other half of the district of Jerusalem. The valley gate was repaired by the people from Zanoah, led by Hanun. They set up its doors and installed its bolts and bars. They also repaired the 1,500 feet of wall to the dung gate. The dung gate was repaired by Melchijah, son of Rechab, the leader of the Beth Hakaram district. He rebuilt it, set up its doors, and installed its bolts and bars. The fountain gate was repaired by Shallum, son of Kolhose, the leader of the Mizpah district. He rebuilt it, roofed it, set up its doors, and installed its bolts and bars. Then he repaired the wall of the pool of Siloam near the king's garden, and he rebuilt the wall as far as the stairs that descend from the city of David. Next to him was Nehemiah, son of Azbuk, the leader of half the district of Bethzur. He rebuilt the wall from a place across from the tombs of David's family as far as the water reservoir and the house of the warriors. Next to him, repairs were made by a group of Levites working under the supervision of Rehum, son of Bani. Then came Hashabiah, the leader of half the district of Keilah, who supervised the building of the wall on behalf of his own district. Next, down the line, were his countrymen, led by Benui, son of Henadad, the leader of the other half of the district of Keilah. Next to them, Ezer, son of Jeshua, the leader of Mizpah, repaired another section of wall across from the ascent to the armory near the angle in the wall. Next to him was Baruch, son of Zabbai, who zealously repaired an additional section from the angle to the door of the house of Eliashib the high priest. Meremoth, son of Uriah and grandson of Hakaz, rebuilt another section of the wall extending from the door of Eliashib's house to the end of the house. The next repairs were made by the priests from the surrounding region. After them, Benjamin and Hashub repaired the section across from their house, and Azariah, son of Messiah and grandson of Ananiah, repaired the section across from his house. Next was Benui, son of Henadad, who rebuilt another section of the wall from Azariah's house to the angle and the corner. Palal, son of Uzziah, carried on the work from a point opposite the angle and the tower that projects up from the king's upper house beside the court of the guard. Next to him were Pedaiah, son of Parash, with the temple servants living on the hill of Ophel, who repaired the wall as far as a point across from the water gate to the east and the projecting tower. Then came the people of Tekoa, who repaired another section across from the great projecting tower and over to the wall of Ophel. Above the horse gate, the priests repaired the wall. Each one repaired the section. Oh my gosh, y'all. It's names. I just can't even right now. Oh, I done read some of this. Immediately across from his own house. Next, Zadok, son of Emer, also rebuilt the wall across from his own house, and beyond him was Shemaiah, son of Shechaniah, the gatekeeper of the east gate. Next, Hananiah, son of Shelemiah, and Hanun, the sixth son of Zalaph, repaired another section, while Meshullam, son of Berechiah, rebuilt the wall across from where he lived. Malchijah, one of the goldsmiths, repaired the wall as far as the housing for the temple servants and merchants across from the inspection gate. Then he continued as far as the upper room at the corner. The other goldsmiths and merchants repaired the wall from that corner to the sheep gate. Enemies opposed the rebuilding. Sanballat was very angry when he learned that we were rebuilding the wall. He flew into a rage and mocked the Jews, saying in front of his friends and the Samaritan army officers, "What does this bunch of poor, feeble Jews think they're doing? Do they think they can build the wall in a single day by just offering a few sacrifices?" Message: do they actually think they can make something of stones from a rubbish heap, and charred ones at that? Tobiah, the Ammonite, who was standing beside him, remarked, "That stone wall could collapse if even a fox walked along the top of it." Then I prayed, "Hear us, O our God, for we are being mocked. May their scoffing fall back on their own heads, and may they themselves become captives in a foreign land. Do not ignore their guilt. Do not blot out their sins, for they have provoked you to anger here in front of the builders." At last, the wall was completed to half its height around the entire city, for the people had worked with enthusiasm. But when Sanballat and Tobiah and the Arabs, Ammonites, and Ashdodites heard that the work was going ahead and that the gaps in the wall of Jerusalem were being repaired, they were furious. They all made plans to come and fight against Jerusalem and throw us into confusion. But we prayed to our God and guarded the city day and night to protect ourselves. Then the people of Judah began to complain. "The workers are getting tired, and there is so much rubble to be moved. We will never be able to build the wall by ourselves." Meanwhile, our enemies were saying, "Before they know what's happening, we will swoop down on them and kill them and end their work." The Jews who lived near the enemy came and told us again and again, "They will come from all directions and attack us." So I placed army guards behind the lowest parts of the wall in the exposed areas. I stationed the people to stand guard by families, armed with swords, spears, and bows. Then, as I looked over the situation, I called together the nobles and the rest of the people and said to them, Don't be afraid of the enemy. Remember the Lord, who is great and glorious, and fight for your brothers, your sons, your daughters, your wives, and your homes. When our enemies heard that we knew of their plans and that God had frustrated them, we all returned to our work on the wall. But from then on, only half my men worked, while the other half stood guard with spears, shields, bows, and coats of mail. The leaders stationed themselves behind the people of Judah who were building the wall. The laborers carried on their work with one hand supporting their load and one hand holding a weapon. All the builders had a sword belted to their side. The builders had a sword belted to their side. The trumpeter stayed with me to sound the alarm. Then I explained to the nobles and officials and all the people, the work is very spread out, and we are widely separated from each other along the wall. When you hear the blast of the trumpet, rush to wherever it is sounding, then our God will fight for us. We worked early and late from sunrise to sunset, and half the men were always on guard. I also told everyone living outside the walls to stay in Jerusalem. That way, they and their servants could help with guard duty at night and working during the day. During this time, none of us, not I, nor my relatives, nor my servants, nor the guards who were with me, ever took off our clothes. We carried our weapons with us at all times, even when we went for water. You better stay strapped up, Nehemiah. I wasn't supposed to say that, was it? Said it, meant it. Let me read this box. It talks about quitting. Nehemiah had every reason to give up on his dream of rebuilding the wall of Jerusalem. Resources were short. They had to dig stones from the burned rubble to reuse on the new wall. The volunteers he had recruited were overwhelmed and tired. Sanballat and Tobiah mocked their efforts and plotted against them. Nehemiah even received death threats. No one would have blamed him for quitting, but Nehemiah is a study in courage, visionary leadership, and perseverance. He instilled courage in his workers by reminding them that God was on their side. Amen. He mobilized a plan to provide round-the-clock protection as the work continued. Most of all, Nehemiah stayed focused not on the obstacles and dangers, but on the vision God had given him of a rebuilt Jerusalem. And Nehemiah's vision was fueled by prayer. When you feel like quitting, remember God's promises, use your gifts to the fullest, and return again and again to prayer. The end. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if I can get a card out of here. Deuteronomy 8:1-2. Deuteronomy 8:1-2. Be careful to obey all of the commands I am giving you today. Then you will live and multiply, and you will enter and occupy the land the Lord swore to give your ancestors. Thank you, Father God, for multiplication. We receive the blessings. We receive the multiplication. It is not just like Nehemiah, we just got done talking about. When you have all of these things coming up against you, y'all, when you have all of these obstacles and challenges and trials and people, the enemy sending people up against you, whatever way that looks like, it's oftentimes that we want to give up or we think about quitting. But if God is giving you a vision, that means he's going to take care of you and support you through the entirety from start to finish. He is going to walk you through this process until completion. So, and remember, it's not about receiving the blessing at the end, but it's being fulfilled in the work that God has given us to do, being fulfilled with the projects and the assignments that he has blessed us to do, and doing it to his specifications, right? And then him knowing him, because we're disciplined and dedicated to what God has asked us to do, to our assignment. Blessing comes with it. Drop that in the chat. Blessing comes with it. That sounds like a message. I need to write it down. Blessing comes with it. Blessing comes with the assignment. Blessing is favor, right? That's unexpected favor. When you do the work that God is asking you to do, blessings come with it. Okay, so don't be surprised when things start multiplying for you, simply because you keep showing up and doing the work. Okay, that's it. Lord, I hope this helps somebody. Y'all, hydrate your soul and things, drink your water, say your gratitude. Have a fantastic and an amazing day in purpose and on purpose. And I will see y'all on the next one.